mic is back on. My mic was muted. Thanks, man. Yeah, good morning. It's 7:05 p.m. here for me. Um, I was just saying, so the last time that we streamed, we played Skyrim and then we swapped over to Oblivion. And so I think I want to continue on with the Skyrim playthrough for now because I mean, I just released the Dragonborn video, and uh, so yeah, I thought that it would be kind of thematic. We can go try to find Miraak today and get through Dragonborn pretty quickly. You can tell from the way I was running around that I was talking. Yeah, I have a definite pattern that I follow. But in the meantime, we can just do some kind of side questy stuff. I want to get this Riverwood, or not Riverwood, what is it, Lakeside Manor? I'd like to get that house, because that's just a nice thing to have. So, yeah, we'll go to Whiterun Stables. We'll take a carriage on over. Hope you guys have had a good weekend so far. Okay.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
Bjorlum.
Climb and back and we'll be off.
Yeah, so I think Falkreath might be the only city that I haven't been to right now. I really liked what they did with Falkreath and the Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, steady.
Got this glitch, nice. Because in that game, they made Falkreath into a dungeon, and it actually feels like a different place. But if you go to Morthal or something like that in Elder Scrolls Online, it feels like they actually just copy-pasted Morthal from Skyrim and put it into that game. It is pathetic.
Did you see a dog out there?
See a dog out there. What sort
I
of
don't
dog?
know really. I guess I'll stay on the lookout.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Keep your nose clean while you're here, outsider.
Can I get you something?
Solaf. Any Solaf fans in the chat? Ooh, a ring we pickpocketed off of him. That gives us a better chance to pickpocket. That's awesome. I don't want to do this quest. I genuinely don't like the Barbus quest all that much. I know it's kind of classic, but it's kind of a hassle to go through where you got to follow one. Banger video, thank you. Very much appreciated. Alexis. What was I coming into my inventory to do? I get so scatterbrained when I play Skyrim. I was trying to get into my quest log. That's why I was confused. So eventually we want to get back to Solstein, but right now I think we want to get this house.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I probably didn't read the note. Letter from Jarl. Cool.
Come and see me again sometime. I might have some use for you. Good to see you.
Does anyone else hate
Finally,
this guy's
someone
face?
useful is around. Ah,
I just really don't like him.
Yes, well, there's a group of bandits in my hold that I
Sorry if you look like this
may
guy.
have had a few discreet dealings with. The cut they were giving me was good at first, but now it's time to clean things up. Go and take care of it. Good. Execute every last bandit. Spare no one.
Is it true what they...
Is it true what they say? Huh? Hey, just what I needed this evening? Hell yeah, Jug. Welcome to the stream. I'm just kind of doing some side stuff. I'm gonna get myself a house, then we're gonna transition into, I think, Dawnguard or Dragonborn. I don't know. Whatever you guys want to see more, we'll do that one. But yeah, should be fun. And I want to swap my build over as well. I want to swap over to Sword and Shield. Never really talked to Sidgear, but he always gave me entitled rich kid vibes. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what they were going for with him. And I mean, He plays the part well. Yeah, so I want to swap over to Sword and Shield because I want to do it different. Stealth Archer's been fun, but I don't want to keep track of arrows. Because I ran out, and it's just a good transition time. Sid Gear's not that interesting of a character, though. Honestly, like, not a whole lot of the Jarls are that worth talking to. You got Balgruuf, Ulfric. Ulfric hardly counts as like the Jarl, though. He's more of just like a political figure. There we go. Going into like a level 1 cave is crazy. Sikir seems like a snob, then again his uncle gave me those vibes too. Yeah, that's true. Also, welcome to the stream, Breezy Stratton. Also, I did not get to give you a shout out in the video that was just posted, but I did see that you became a channel member, so I really appreciate that. They have so much potential as characters, but once you're named Thane, there's nothing deeper. Yeah. If only. If only Bethesda decided to do something deep.
You picked a bad time to get lost.
What's your build for a casual non-OP build? I really do like Sword and Shield, but honestly, it's mostly because of the level 100 block skill. I think that skill is so funny. So yeah, for just being like non-OP, I think that's fun. Hello there, and that's okay. It was a great video anyways, like a lot of them are. I will say that one about Mana Marco was your favorite. Really? That one, I don't, like, I enjoyed making that video quite a bit. But I feel like, I don't know, for some reason when I think about that video in particular, I feel like there's more that I could have added onto it. It's a topic, like, with him being the Revenant, him being the moon, I really want to touch on that more at some day because it's such a, like, odd, I don't know, it's such an odd piece of lore that nobody ever really talks about. Like, I guess I don't have a whole lot more to say about that, but I do want to touch more on the Revenant because it's very weird. All the more reason for a part 2. Yup. Mana Marco has no business being so pretty and powerful. You know, they really glammed him up for ESO, though. He was not that pretty before. He looked very, like, powerful in Daggerfall, like, very intimidating. And then he's like, well, we don't talk about him in Oblivion. And then in ESO, they made him like a thirst trap elf. Oblivion potato, yeah. It's even got a sack on like a potato. Do you guys know, I don't know if I have slow time. I don't have slow time. There used to be this glitch you could do, and I believe they patched it when Hearthfire came out. But the glitch was, if you paid for a house, like you went through the dialogue to pay for a house, and then you exited the, like the discussion early, you could cast slow time, you could run over to a chest, deposit all of your gold in the chest before the Jarl took it, and then you could get your house for free.
Bolin speaks. Teach them to here. You know what? I hereby grant you permission to purchase property
we
in
gotta talk
Falkreath
to
Hold. Talk to my steward if you're interested.
his steward. I like how I can walk into people's homes and be like, yeah, I'm chill with the Jarl. And just take like a pouch of their gold
I
coins.
protect the Jarl, whoever that might be.
I think that's still there if you're not mistaken. Oh, cool. I'll have to try it. Ah, there's the steward.
I'm the steward here. I serve under Jarl Siggeir and Jarl Dengir before him. There's no house available, but you won't regret it. Follow the road
Hey,
east from
achievement get.
Falkreath, then north at the crossroads. Turn left, just... Siggeir can sometimes act too quickly, but he does listen to Helvard and I.
I think it's so funny in Bethesda games when someone's talking to you and you leave a room, they'll like transport out with you. It's so bizarre. Okay, I got Lakeview Manor, or Lakeside Manor. Yeah, Lakeview Manor, so we can come back to that later. The thing... Jarl Hinga Dinga Durgan. I want to go over here to do this, this block thing. So there's this one character, he's the end boss of this dungeon, and he's very isolated. And you can do this kind of, it's not really like a glitch, but you can do this level up exploit with him where you just hold a shield up and you let him hit you a bunch. I was bored and had to look through the comments on the Thalmor videos. Some of those were insane. Yeah, dude, I have 2 of them actually hidden. So what YouTube does, if someone leaves a very like depraved comment on your video, they'll just auto block it and they hold it for review.
Wait, I know you.
Yeah, they hold it for review, and then they let you go and like look at it and see if you want to allow that in your comment section. And I'm all for free speech, but I do have 2 comments that are held for review, and I'm not gonna like, I don't know.
I don't claim.
I really don't want to
yourself or deal some damage.
infringe on anyone's right to free speech, but if you're gonna be a weirdo in my comment section, then like I'm sorry, I'm not gonna have that on my channel. So there's 2 comments in particular that are crazy, but a lot of them I have let slide. I'm like, alright, well if you want to make yourself look like a jackass on the internet, go for it. But yeah, there's a couple that are just gross. Sub Goofers, what's up, man? Oh, I had a shield on me the whole time. God damn it. Don't remember if I commented. If so, I bet one was mine. No. No, I don't think it was. Okay, yeah, I've got that shield. What am I doing?
Forget to check inside the shop. Have you met my... Looking to protect yourself?
I'm gonna buy
or deal some damage?
armor from her. I think we're just gonna buy like dwarven armor. Yeah, and you can, if you really want to see some crazy ones, you can sort by new. You'll see, I don't know, I feel like a few of the newer ones that have been on the channel lately have just been weird.
My leave then.
Okay, this is definitely the fit. And we are gonna go over yonder. I feel like I'm so lazy. It's a whirlwind to sprint everywhere now. Consequences of your recent growth, I guess. Yeah. Probably. Get a lot of strange people. I got one comment that was held for review on my Elden Ring video, and it was just like I didn't know why YouTube decided to hold it. It was like kind of a dirty comment, but it wasn't gonna offend anyone or hurt anybody. I just remember looking at it and I was like, what a stupid thing for YouTube to censor. Are we comparing our favorite slurs in YouTube comments? You certainly can do that. You know, if you want to. No one's gonna stop you. Yeah, there was one person left a choice word about a group of people, real life people, on that Thalmor video, and I was like, oh, that's not nice. Weirdos are entertaining sometimes. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Wemmer designated trip. Honestly, this bit kind of goes hard. Kind of. Not fully. Favorite slur is Enwa. You Enwa. I remember reading Enwa before I'd played Morrowind, and I was like, no way that it's pronounced Enwa. It's got to be pronounced like Noir. And then there's that high elf, well, I guess she's just the elven voice actress, from Oblivion, who voices the elves in Morrowind. She's like, I remember fighting her, some character that she was voicing, and she's like, "You Enwa." Really took me out for a minute. Swit, yeah. See, this is the thing. Dunmer have all the fun pieces of lore. Oh, I forgot. We're doing this thing for Septimus. I need to be harvesting blood and actually looking at people's corpses. Note to Rodolph. Your little stunts try my patience. I know my uncle has issues, but he is our watchman and you will respect him. No more sneaking in and out. No more games with his ledger or nails on his chair. No, one more joke and you'll see how funny a day in the cage can be. Hjava. Typical Nord accent. I remember I jokingly called your take on fantasy racism scalding hot. I didn't realize I was joking. Yeah, I know. Some people really think
Boss was looking for you.
outside the box on their fantasy racism things. Surprisingly decent accent. Thank you. My favorite slur is mongrel dog of the Empire. Okay, can we talk for a second about this book? How, this is such a low-key funny joke in this game that the blind guy is like looking at an empty book. More moments like this, Bethesda, please.
Looky here, looks like we got ourselves
Get that one-handed up. Our one-handed is already at 53 though, which is kind of crazy. Arnold Schwarzenegger moment. Do you guys have a favorite Arnold movie? I like a lot of Arnold stuff. My dad and I used to watch a lot of Arnold movies together. Not that he's like dead or anything, we just don't do it that much anymore.
You think it'll work? What was that?
Time to hit. I'll fuck.
Predator or Commando. Those are good movies. Predator's a great film. I think I like that one a little bit more than Commando. Okay, so this is the guy. I'm gonna come up here. And I'm gonna put healing in one hand. I could have been a little bit smarter with this, and I could have slept beforehand or something, and oh, you know what? Actually, if we're gonna be swapping over, since we're outside and he doesn't see me, I'm gonna go back to the Guardian Stones and get the Warrior Stone, just to get a little bit more XP out of this. This one. Oh, the Steed Stone was actually carrying my whole build. Oops. Drop, drop, drop. It's not an annoying noise right in my ear. And all of your ears. Don't need the Debella statue. Don't need that. We can come back and grab all this later, I suppose, too. $17 steel ingots, Jesus Christ. Forgot that I had all this crap on me. Find a new pickaxe, find a new storm thing, find a new that, find a new those. What am I doing with the Debella statue? Dude, don't worry about it. It's a normal. Everyone has one. I thought it was like Braille or something, that book that the blind man was reading. I'm pretty sure it's just empty. I don't think I picked it up, but my grandfather was blind. And Braille is not invisible. Remember when Bethesda announced Test 6 in like 2018? I actually saw someone posted a funny, and it was like a happy birthday, a 6-year anniversary happy birthday to the Elder Scrolls 6 announcement trailer. Oh, I did pick the book up. Hold on, let's look for it. Ulfer's book. Yeah, it's just empty. Arnold usually wasn't allowed to dub his own movies in German because to them he sounds like a country bumpkin with his accent. Really, it's interesting. Not done Meridia's quest yet. No, I could do that next. Joao Fizera, hello there. Just watched your post-recent video. Great job as always. Thank you. Glad that you enjoyed it. Currently just trying to make space in my inventory. I do have 52 gold rings on me at the moment, but I have a plan for those. 7 things of frostbite venom, probably not necessary. Okay, well, we'll come back to the Guardian Stones for all that crap later. There we go. I thought it was just bad graphics, to be honest. I didn't see any dots. Did play on PS3 first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the book's just supposed to be empty. Classic dunk on blind people. Make a cave next that's all in Braille. Don't understand how Bethesda can let so many years go between Test 5 and 6. They did make an announcement about it. About how they were, but they didn't see that one coming. Yeah, they did make an announcement about it. And, they were like, yeah, I think Todd said it. He was like, there's no world in which they wanted this to be the case, where it's taken so long between games, but that's just kind of how it worked out. Okay, see, block already increased to 18 to 19. I don't know why this guy in particular is so good for this method, but it's pretty insane. He does have gauntlets, I guess, that increases to him by 20%, so that's probably part of it. Maybe they're just taking their time so they can get it right to satisfy the passionate fan base. I wish I could believe that. I just don't think, like, you know how people, but if we got any Star Wars fans around, like, people often say that with George Lucas, he didn't. Okay, this is so loud. I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. Yeah, people often say that with George Lucas, like, he didn't understand what made his movies so great in the first place. Like, George is a great ideas guy, you know, but I don't know if he should have been the guy in charge of the directing for all the movies and stuff. But I feel like that's kind of the same way that Bethesda is to an extent, where I don't know if they understand why the fans like the Elder Scrolls so much. They kind of lost a bit when they decided to make the games more streamlined for people, I think. Why would you play Test 6 when you can play Starfield instead? Good point. We should all play Starfield instead. Why would I play Starfield when I can just play Skyrim again? Good counterpoint. We could all just play Skyrim again. I'd rather have George back than whatever they're doing at the moment. Yes, that's so true. Modern Disney Star Wars is horrible.
I'll try and make it quick.
Very good point. I was looking at, I think I might have mentioned this even the last time that I streamed, but I was looking at Starfield the other day on Steam, because it was like $40. And I talked myself off the ledge, but I almost bought it. Even though I played it twice, and it was super buggy. No to Starfield, but I will replay Skyrim thousands of times over. Except Andor, they cooked with that. I heard Andor was good. I watched a video on that, actually. I don't really watch TV shows, but I will gladly watch people on YouTube talk about TV shows. I wish Test would be a bit darker in tone with a UI like Oblivion, but I know that won't happen. You know, the thing with Oblivion in particular is that game would be so scary, I think, at some points, if it was with modern graphics. like I'm kind of excited for how they interpret some of the scenes in that game, in Sky Oblivion, because I don't know if you guys remember the Namira quest in that game is where you go into a guy's nightmare. It's one of the most creative quests I've played in the test series, and there's this one room in there with all these flaming corpses hanging upside down by their feet. Oblivion zombies are scary. Like, they've got chunks taken out of them. Like, think of when you saw Lucy and LeChance as a kid, hanging in the Dark Brotherhood house. Like, it's disturbing. And that one scene in particular, it's just like, it lives in my brain, you know? If Hackdirt looked like Skyrim, it would be so terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, Hackdirt's another weird place. Oblivion had some nice scary elements to it, very atmospheric, especially in the Iliad ruins. Yeah, Iliad ruins are kind of unsettling. They feel like, you know, it feels like the people are gone. It feels like they're uninhabited. Which is good. Okay, could you please pull your sword out, sir? There, oh, sorry, Warhammer, my bad. Yeah, the Oblivion portals themselves, though, very spooky vibes. My one friend always calls me weird for playing in third person so much. Do you guys agree? Seeing the lifeless ruins of an ostensibly superior people like aliens or dwarves is a unique sense of dread. Yeah. Third person is better. I don't really like first versus, yeah, I can't do third person. The duality of man. Third person is weird. I don't know, man. I like third person games quite a bit. I like that it allows you to kind of cheat by poking around corners and stuff. Okay, so we want... I don't know, what's better? I guess the left path is better. Yeah, oh, left path is way better. It's like flat damage reduction. Never get used to third-person Elder Scrolls, even with an incredibly modded Skyrim that has Dark Souls combat. It feels off. I don't know, I like seeing my character. Cannot do first person in Elder Scrolls Online. Okay, so that's a whole different story though. ESO, if you play ESO in first person, you are a madman. Also, you spend time making a character, don't you want to see your creation in their armor, right? Yeah, that's a big thing for me too. Yeah, no. Oh no! I was worried about this happening. So if you get too close to him, he will one-shot you. That's that's a tip for all you trying to do this at home. Yeah, so we're just gonna, you know, start it again, run it back.
Never should have come here.
Yeah, since I'm a Souls-like enjoyer, yeah. No, I had a buddy though. One of my, God damn it! Now he does it the first time I'm over here. I have a buddy who I tried to get to play ESO with me, and he refused to do third person. He's like, no, I'm not going to play a fucking Elder Scrolls game in third person. And the thing with ESO is you cannot treat it like a regular Elder Scrolls game, you know? It's so different in what it's trying to do. Like, you will die in every dungeon that you're in because you won't be able to see the AoEs on the ground and stuff. First person in ESO sucks because you can't see your body, can't see your arms, even unless some animation plays. Yeah, no, it's horrible. I mean, I'll go into first person if I'm trying to like look at somebody specifically, or like if I'm talking to somebody, but actually playing the game in third person or in first person is crazy. Love the stories from ESO, but personally I don't really like MMOs. Yeah, I think ESO has a lot of people that play it. Like it is actually like, okay. I'm choking on my tongue right now. Sorry, I'm trying to talk too fast. There's a lot of people that play ESO. It has a lot of fans, and a lot of those fans are people that are not like major Elder Scrolls fans. They're more MMO fans. Is something that I've realized in playing that game. Like, I've met a lot of people, a lot of really cool people in that game, but genuinely a lot of them, if they've played an Elder Scrolls game, it's like they played Skyrim, and that was their intro to the series, and then they got into the MMO, and then they just play the MMO now, basically. But there's still a majority of people, too, that are like, or I don't know about a majority, but there's a lot of people that play that game that do just like the lore, and I don't know, there's so many different aspects of ESO to like, which is why I think that it's a game that everybody should at least try, because you've got so many different aspects of the game to enjoy. Like, if you're a PvP person, you can do PvP Cyrodiil, or you can do like the Battlegrounds 4v4v4 format, which is super fun. You could play just like the card game, which nobody does, but Tales of Tribute, you could play that if you wanted to. You could just collect things, like you could go around and collect all the locations on the map, and like just achievement hunt in that game if you wanted to. You really don't have to treat it like a normal Elder Scrolls game. It's just like, have fun exploring the devs' imaginary Tamriel, essentially. Thought you were bashing the single-player test games first person for a sec. Yeah, no, not at all. Oh my god, no. I just like being able to see my character sometimes. I don't exclusively play in third person, though. I get a lot of that from a lot of Legends players too. Card game players first and test fans second. Yeah, exactly. I think that was a lot of, like, especially the first generation of Tessel players, is like, they were mostly card game fans first. Final Fantasy XIV had a way... I can't see the word next to that. There's a logo blocking it. Had a way something card game. Oh, it had a way more fun card game. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have played Tales of Tribute, but it kind of sucks. I was gonna make a video on the channel about it, but it's like, it's just not that fun. It's not the worst thing in the world, though. Hey, I would love if you could put this... Oh, wow. Only got into it because I was looking to see what other test games were relatively easy to run, and found it on Steam. Yeah, I do like that, like when there's Bethesda summer sales or whatever, they do include Legends on the list usually. It's like way at the bottom, but it's on there, so it shows that they know it exists. Gotta be careful around this guy. And he gets his bow out. I guess I'll do the deflect arrows early. No, I'll keep that, actually. If anything, you should do a video about Caravan from Fallout New Vegas. You will have to explain that to me. I'm not really a big Fallout guy. I'm really more of a more of an Elder Scrolls fan. I've played all the, no, not all the Fallouts. That's a lie. I've played New Vegas and 4. Played 4 a bunch, actually. I played 4 so much I can't play it anymore. Like I will get sick if I try to boot that game up. Definitely the one that I have the most time on. Oh, okay. I do know what Caravan is. I thought that was like a mod or a game or something I hadn't heard of. Thanks, and my dude. I really like when games have little like in-game mini-games though. I remember there was this game in Assassin's Creed 3. I don't even know what it was. It was like proto checkers or chess or something, but maybe even backgammon. But I remember playing that as a kid, and I just didn't understand what was going on at all. But it was still fun. There we go. Let's got it out again. The more points I can put into block, the more we'll get out of this, because it'll be more times I can hit him. Need legends as a minigame in Test 6. It'd be cool. I've thought about how they'd integrate that before. Like, I think they'd have to get rid of cards. Have to get rid of Parthenax, for instance, and not just because I don't like Parthenax, but because nobody knows who Parthenax is. So you'd have to get rid of that. Like in game, nobody's supposed to know who that is. Or yeah, in game and in lore, nobody's supposed to know who that is other than the Greybeards. Gwent is the Witcher game, yes. Gwent is fun. Gwent deserves a mention in this conversation too, yeah. I've never played much of The Witcher, I just couldn't really get into it a whole lot, but I enjoyed Gwent. Getting rid of Parthenax because you don't like the card is a perfectly valid reason, yeah. It's taken a lot longer to level up. Starting to feel like I need to do a Legends rant video like you just to get it all out. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, go for it. I know, I think Dr. Monopoly did a Legends rant just about the same time that I did. I think we were all just kind of feeling it around that point. Never should have come here. Can't wait to shout him off this mountain. It's gonna be great. Okay, block at 50. That's probably good to go into Dawnguard, right? Get some new armor and new stats and stuff. Actually, we can take this guy's shit. See ya, chump. Might be worth saving so you don't get one shot. Yeah. Good point. I can still get one shot by fall damage. gonna join the vampire master race? I cannot believe I just read that. No. Vampires are disgusting. Sorry. Not a vampire fan. I mean, if you guys really want to see the vampires, I'll join them, but I'm not a big fan of the vampires. I think the Dawn Guard has a much cooler aesthetic. Also, I just don't really like Elder Scrolls vampires. Don't talk about my Vengalmo like that. Vengalmo is what? He's the,
I've been looking for you.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
A note. Looks like
Oh, it's from Calselmo. Wait, holy shit. I love when this happens. I love when Calselmo hits you up and he's like, that dwarven armor that you're wearing, I need you to bring it to me. Love that shit. So what I don't like about vampire lore, right? You think about a thing, like a vampire in reality, is a, well, it's kind of a weird thing because it's not really a thing, right? But a vampire has a certain set of rules in the real world for when you're writing mythology about them. A vampire, we all know, cannot see its reflection. They cannot come inside without being invited. They don't like garlic. The only way to kill them is with a wooden stake or with a silver, whatever, piece of silver, right? They're weak to that. Some of them can turn into bats. They suck your blood, right? They have all these various rules. I don't see at all what the Elder Scrolls vampires, in air quotes, I'm doing air quotes right now, I don't see what an Elder Scrolls vampire has to do with a vampire at all. Other than the fact that they suck blood. Like, the fact that they're in coffins in Castle Volkihar is like, what the fuck, why? The way that vampires were created in the Elder Scrolls is that Molag Bal forced himself upon a girl, and then she died from it, and then she got resurrected. Like, that's pretty much it. I just don't see how it connects to, like, actual real-life vampire lore, I guess. Also, these rules are debatable and have changed throughout history. Yeah, I guess it just depends on who's
I know you.
writing the vampire story. Okay, I'm trying to debate whether or not I want to bring this to Calselmo now, but I guess I won't. So, I'll tell you what I do want to do, though, really quick, because I want to go to Winterhold and join the college. No Sky UI. Is that a mod? Like a UI mod? Did I speak to Ondalamar yet? No, I haven't been to, I don't think I've been inside of Markarth. Oh, never mind. I haven't been up to the palace yet in Markarth.
Cross the bridge. The way is dangerous, and the gate... Oh. This is the College of Winterhold. A safe haven. Perhaps. But... it would seem... not just... a small test, if... No. I'm afraid I don't...
I can't just persuade her.
Excellent. The fear spell has saved the life...
Dalamar's dead in my game, I don't know why. Probably because he's on Dalamar.
Winterhold's glory days may lie... No. Or you can try your luck with one... Here you are. Now I'm anxious to see you cast it.
Okay, fear... that was 134. That blows. I gotta have a potion that increases my magicka though, right? Potion of fortify... potion of extra magicka will give me 20. It's gotta be like a different... yeah, I need a drought, or a draught. Do you guys know how to pronounce that? Is it draught or drought? Solution. Problem is, all of these potions that I want to buy are like inside the college. It's like draft? Okay. Good to know. Oh wait, my magic is at 150. Okay, I don't don't know how that happened.
Much knowledge. Well done. And I think
Oh, I've got
I'll
the
lead
not
you
green
across
mask
the
on.
bridge.
I'm an idiot.
Once you're inside, you'll want to speak with Mirabelle Irvine, our master wizard. Please follow me.
But the
Well
Dragonborn
done
just
indeed.
eats spell books and learns them. Yeah, it's pretty iconic. If the Imperials take Markarth, then Undolamar and his guards will disappear. It's implied they kill him. Don't know if that's your reason, but it could be a reason. Sky UI is an inventory UI replacer. It's much better than the default UI. I think you're the only one who's not using it. Dude, I do not mod my game. I play vanilla. I don't even play the Anniversary Edition. I hate the Creation Club that much.
Yes, of course.
So I play
I'm
essentially pure
trying to
vanilla.
understand the reasoning behind the decision.
Okay, so the reason we wanted to come here is... But also, like, this UI is, like, it's perfectly fine for console, which is what I normally am used to playing on. I'm on PC right now, but, like, I've played on this UI for over a decade, so it doesn't bother me. Inther... I like Anniversary almost just because of the Tribunal quest. I don't like how there's no voice acting in that quest. It feels very, like, fake and stale. I think the voice acting, I believe there is voice acting, but it's reused voice lines. Like, everything in the Creation Club is so low effort at a lot of points because they couldn't get voice actors back to do stuff. The Redguard quest is also cool despite the lack of voice acting. Yeah, exactly. I do consider Sky UI vanilla at this point. I think Todd even made a comment. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. I've seen the clip of Todd saying that he mods the game for for UI. And it's like, dude, my brother in Christ, you made the game. My brother in Talos, you made the game.
I care little for idle conversation, but perhaps you need help with conjuration magic.
Guess he couldn't see that.
You can't take that.
Noticed that too, it was a fun quest line. Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff that they added was interesting in Creation Club. I just didn't really like a lot of it. It did feel very cheap. He mentioned Stalos, but he isn't in a Thalmor jail. He can't keep getting away with it. You know, we're in Winterhold. They're chill with Talos up here. How's it going, Imperial Knowledge? I was just sharing with them the rant that I went on with you a little bit ago about the Creation Club. Of course, Imperial Knowledge is a Thalmor supporter. I mean, it's kind of in the name, right? So this is the way to like hyper boost your crafting in this game, by the way. I'm sure most of you guys know this at this point, but you just make a bunch of gold rings at the Kolskager mine, and then you come over here and you steal a bunch of soul gems, and then you come and enchant these, and then you sell them, and you buy more soul gems, and you just rinse and repeat. Why must thou always stream when I should sleep at 2 a.m.? Yeah, I'll have to stream at 2 a.m. my time, and then that'll be like morning for you at some point. Thalmor pay you good money. That's true. I wonder how many of us would fall victim to the Thalmor if they were real. Would turn good men evil. Okay, so where is my man Tolfdir? This guy.
The local Nords
No,
may
he doesn't
not
sell
like
anything.
us
Never mind.
that much, but they don't seem to mind having access
If you require, if you would, please. The summoning of undead is evil. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
Oh wow, I have no gold. What the hell? Why am I so poor? Jesus. Well, this should be good boosting for our speech skill, I guess. It's actually 2 a.m. here, so one question before I go. If you had to choose one extra official good DLC Skyrim questline or 3 good official Elder Scrolls novels set in a different province here, hold on. Yeah, novels. Ooh. So you mean like if I had to design a DLC for a Skyrim questline? Oh, okay, I understand the question now. I would do one... No. I'd do 3 official Elder Scrolls novels set in different provinces. Because I want to know what's going on in, I want to know what's going on in other provinces so badly. There's so... Like, genuinely, from 4th Era, from 4th Era 0 to 4th Era 201, there's not that much lore filling in the gaps for a lot of places. Like, we don't even know the name of the current, like, King of Wayrest, for example. So I would love to have more lore filled in for that type of stuff. At least I don't believe we know the current name for the King of Wayrest, but I could be wrong on that.
There are spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
This is some amazing gameplay right
now,
here.
if you'll excuse me.
I think Wayrest was covered in Legends DLC. Get the point, though. Wayrest was covered in the Legends DLC, but it was specifically the event of the downfall of the Dark Brotherhood. Right? Yeah, and the king wasn't in it. Like, I feel like at bare minimum, like I'm designing a world right now. I'm actually designing a an Elder Scrolls D&D at this point. And I'd planned to do something on the channel with my friends. They were going to be players, and I was going to DM it. And I still have plans for that, but we kind of got off track. And anyway, so I'm writing in a bunch of lore because there's like a dark spot in the lore in the 4th Era, and there's so much of like blank space to play with that I have had to come up with so many different NPCs that don't exist. Like, I came up with an entire lore for the history of Skyrim that, like, Bethesda didn't bother to fill in the gaps for. Which I think, bare minimum, we should at least know who the leaders of other nations are at this point, right? But we don't know that. I wish I had friends who I could bait into playing D&D with me, lol. Oh, Elder Scrolls D&D. Hey, man, if you want to join the D&D project, it might be a little bit hard because of time constraints. Or not time constraints, but time differences, but yeah. Actual play show? What do you mean by that, Jug? Made an Elder Scrolls D&D thing too, been running a Skyrim game for like 2 years. That's cool. Mine was going to take place about halfway in the 4th Era, so that way it wouldn't step on the toes of anything Skyrim related, and it wouldn't really have that much to do with Oblivion. I was going to set it and be its own thing. have some characters, like I thought about some elves from Oblivion that I'd be like, alright, they're still around, they're doing this or that. Oh, like Critical Role, an actual play D&D show.
Wait,
yeah, so it was going to be
I
an
know.
online kind of podcast thing, so like I wouldn't be there physically. But I would ideally like to do it physically. If you're looking for extra players, right? Yeah, we had 4 or 5 players. We did record the first session, and I thought it turned out pretty good, but the footage got corrupted for it, unfortunately, because my external hard drive got all messed up. So, didn't really quite work out, but we had 4 characters with like really cool backstories, I thought. I was really interested for them, and the squad that we had was really fun too, because it was my real life friends. So my one buddy, well really 2 of my friends were like pretty well versed in Elder Scrolls lore. Then I've got one friend who played Oblivion and Skyrim, just like a little bit of Oblivion, and he'd played quite a bit of Skyrim. And then my other friend had never played an Elder Scrolls game before. Like he'd played Skyrim, but like for a few hours. So it was going to be a very interesting squad, because for my one buddy, it was going to be like him experiencing all of this stuff for the first time. And I wanted the atmosphere of it to be like semi-serious. I mean, obviously players are going to joke and we're all friends, so we're going to have a good time together, but you know, as long as they're taking the plot line of it seriously, I thought that it would be a fun thing to do. Your dad hosts D&D every other Friday, and every character I make is based off your Elder Scrolls characters? That's pretty awesome. You guys know about the Bunnies Slaughtered tab? You go here into your stats, you go to... Where is it at? Combat? Yeah. Bunnies Slaughtered. 1. Doubt it will work with time constraints, but would love to see what you come up with. If you need a one-shot character to show up, you can send me a Discord. Sounds good. Yeah, it's probably going to be a while before that project ever gets off the ground again, because everybody's busy with life. I wanted to come up with my own rule set too. Like there is a rule set that someone made for an Elder Scrolls D&D campaign, but we were using that. I didn't quite like it that much. I wanted to put my own spin on things. So that would really be a lot of it too, is like going back and really ironing out the rules.
Found you. We are getting our stats up quite a bit. Since he doesn't actually know a whole lot about D&D, let me use the House Telvanni for my Dark Elf house. That's cool. Chillrend is also such a shit weapon, honestly. Like, I wish it was better for being a unique sword that's a legacy item. It just runs out of charge so quickly.
Look at this. I should have known it was only a matter of time before they found it. Of course. Why did I... A woman trapped in there? And so you delivered her.
Did you guys know there's a line of dialogue with Isran if you bring Serana back here?
The scroll. Right. By the divines. When did I... We just need... If they're both... There are people I've... If you can find them. Right to the point, we should keep... I think we'll want her. Last I knew, she was...
I also forgot, I already denied Lord Harkin, so we're not doing vampires.
Bring the 2 of them back here, and we can get started on coming up with a plan.
Isran, my beloved. He's got such a cool voice, dude. I love Isran so much.
Find Serene and Gunmar, and maybe we can do something.
Best voice acting in the game. I would say it's pretty close. I don't know who I would say is the best, but he's up there for sure. Alongside Ulfric and Serana. Yeah, Serana's got the benefit of being Laura Bailey of all people, so she's already just a goated voice actor. Jube. My friend and I have this running joke with Jube, because I don't think he ever actually says it in game, but I was like explaining to him who Jube was one time, and you know how if you talk to him, he's like, I don't know. The joke is basically just we go like, "What?" when you tell him that he's dead. Neloth and Teldrin are some of my favorite characters to listen to. Okay, Neloth is probably my favorite actually. I totally forgot about him. Neloth is peak. So funny. Such a funny character, dude. I've got so many ingredients too. I need to really empty out my inventory. Okay, we'll go find Gunmar and Serene Gerard. Okay, get this Lod quest off my screen, god damn it. I don't care about Barbas. I had an idea for a test campaign set in a crime-ridden Kvatch 40 years after the Oblivion Crisis, where players need to get rid of the crime family running the city after Reconstruction. Turning it into a bad book now? Nice. That sounds really cool, I like that. I forget the name of the Count in Kvatch when you go there. He's got such a cool name though. It's like Golden Wine? Something like that.
Huh?
Still run it as a campaign. Yeah, it sounds like it. Omelius Goldwine, yep. I appreciate that you had that right off the top of your head. Oh shit, I need my shield. It's the whole point of this build. Back up, back up, back up. There we go. Okay, honestly, I forgot how to access the quick menu this whole time. Still got chill run down here. Good. Wrote a whole piece of backstory about Goldwine before the crisis, already facing pressure from the crime family's patriarch, so I used the name a lot. Nice. Yeah, it's a sick name. I did really like the Counts in Oblivion quite a lot more than I liked the Counts, or the Jarls in Skyrim. Like, I could not tell you for the life of me what the guy's name is from, Dawnstar. Don't know. Anyway, I'm heading off. Have fun. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by, man. Very cool getting to talk to you again, as always. Okay. Serene Gerard. Dawnstar is Scald the Elder. That's right. Yeah. See ya. Yeah, you gotta get out of here. Go to sleep. Igrod Ravencrone. Best Jarl. She's actually pretty cool. I like her. This hill is kind of rough to look at. That's a bit of rough texture. I know Scald's name only because that one scene when you enter, they're like, "Divine sake, Scald." No, that's valid. I can picture him now, he's just this old, bald fuck. Gotta crack my back. Go. So I'd mentioned this to channel members on the member tab, but I had this video that I found. I was going through trying to clear some space on my PC, and I found this old video that I edited years ago. And it's this Skyrim meme compilation. It's when I was first learning how to edit stuff. And so I just had a bunch of clips from my Xbox One game capture system. And I put them all together in like a meme montage. It's not a great video, but I was thinking of posting it for members, as a members only type thing. Ravington, hello! How's it going, man? If you guys would be interested to see that. Please do post it? Okay, will do. Yeah, it's like 3 minutes long, but I thought it'd just be something fun. Something fun to showcase. Sounds like it sufficiently bridges stupid and funny. Yeah, I think that there are some clips in there that I'm like, oh yeah, hey, 19-year-old me, good job, made a funny clip. And then there's others that are like, just stupid. It's mostly just stuff that happened to me when I was playing Skyrim, and I put it all into a montage. It also wouldn't have ads run on it because it's got Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder playing in the background. Skyrim should have had a Numidium-like villain instead of some half-assed dragon who acts the same as pretty much every other dragon. Yeah, it's very disappointing how they didn't even change like a single thing really about Alduin's behavior. He just has that one unique shout that calls meteors from the sky. Other than that, he's a pretty generic and boring dragon. And I mean, he looks like he's scarier when you see him up close, but from far away, he's kind of just the same base model as dragons, right? Like, he should have been physically bigger than the other dragons. More intimidating.
I'm warning you. Hey!
Dude, what are the odds that this Forsworn Looter's swords are better than mine? Probably pretty low, actually, because this is a base class sword, but... That's not that much worse. Oh, Hagraven. Hagraven. Do I have any mods installed? I do not. I barely play with mods ever. Please don't freeze me. Not nice. Not nice. That's not nice. Hate being frozen. There we go. Graphics look better than I remember. Yeah, this game does surprisingly look like pretty good still. It also helps being on a PC instead of an Xbox. At least in my case. But it's especially shocking when you play Starfield and then you come back and play this and you're like, does Skyrim look better? Last make some shocks, that's better than Chillrend. I don't know how the DPS checks out because it's so much slower, but it's probably fine. Drop the skooma. I always liked the water walking in Oblivion. I felt like there were more instances to use it in that game than in this Skyrim does look better, to be honest. Way better art direction. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Skyrim as a whole was kind of disappointing for me at least, but a part of me loves the modding scene that remedies my complaint a la Requiem, Inarium, or Morrow loot. I do not know what those last three things are, but how was Skyrim disappointing to you? Like going from Oblivion to Skyrim, or like just having played Skyrim in general after playing other games? Because I think the gameplay loop of Skyrim is actually still pretty good. Like it holds up pretty well, but I think as I talked about in my video about Elder Scrolls 6, like most of what you do in this game is just, you know, clicking right trigger or M1, and occasionally like you gotta block or heal sometimes, but it's pretty repetitive after a while. Especially if you've been playing this game for a long time. Oh, is Serene Gerard? She's this way. She's got to be this way. Yeah, we're just super far away from her. Okay. Bard from the other side. You know, another video that I found too, and I was thinking like if we ever get to 10,000 subscribers, this could be like a fun video to show off. It's a video I made when I was like 15 years old, and it's a Skyrim tutorial thing. It's like 2 minutes long. It's really bad, but it could be a fun thing for you guys to look at and laugh at. Skyrim hype around the 2010s or so had me hooked on TES as a whole, playing Morrowind and Oblivion up to the release. After playing it, felt like it needed more baking in the oven. That's interesting. I think this game holds up pretty well still. It's just like right now I really should not be playing this game as the most recent Elder Scrolls game. Like I should have Elder Scrolls 6 to play, and Skyrim should be like, you know, it should be nostalgic at this point, but it's
Come along, no more stops.
not necessarily. But they keep re-releasing it. And because they keep re-releasing it, they keep bringing it into the public eye, and then we have more to complain about.
I told you it's the wedding of
Skyrim fatigue is a real problem and fallen victim multiple times. Yeah. Yep. It's because they can't stop re-releasing it.
I want you to sell swords out of my mind.
Watch your tongue.
Ooh, Nordic carved armor.
We'll leave when we're sure there's no Forsworn
Might
here.
want to cop that, honestly.
Oh, and when would that be? I sell my land for swords.
Never. They've shut us down forever, Edmund. The Divines have
I was
abandoned
wondering
us.
why there was a
Mage
Stormcloak
fire.
soldier here, but we did
Great
the
evil has been vanquished. You have truly saved us all.
negotiation. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're ever looking for a wood elf for the Septimus Cygnus quest, there's one right under here, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm right about that, that'll show you who's played a lot of Skyrim in their day. Oh hey look, there's a wood elf. Right under here. Yep, that's kind of sad I remember that, but hey, we take those. Incident and Necron. I will read that. So I think that's a level up. Got so much crap on me, man. Faendal's always your choice for that quest. Faendal's the homie, though. What do you mean? You can't just go kill him. Yeah, I used to always have it on lockdown because I loved getting the Ogma Infinium, so like, I knew where to get all the blood that I needed to pretty quickly. Like if you want orc blood, you can do the quest in the Dark Brotherhood where you gotta kill the orc dude, Lurbach the Bard or whatever his name is. Oh shit, I didn't know this was here. That's cool. Oh my god, I need to stop picking stuff up. I'm like a little goblin. Okay, I don't need 14 wooden plates. Bosmers get it the worst. If Tamriel had computers and social media, so many Bosmer men would be incel posting. I don't know, man. That's kind of the Bretons. It's kind of their lot in life. I believe, like, aren't Bosmer women supposed to have some, like, pretty suspect lore?
Oh. Yes. No.
Gotta bounce for the night.
Yeah.
This was fun. Thanks again for doing these live streams, of course. Thanks for stopping by.
This one needs a... I
Could
worship
get Spellbreaker.
not in... If you
That would
wish
be
to
cool.
commune with him... Yes, the incense. Fetch for me a death bell flower, 1 silver ingot, a flawless ruby, and some vampire dust.
I think I have some of
Then
that on me right
I
now.
will show you how.
Oh, you have to bring it
Until next
all
time.
at once, don't you? Oh, I don't have any of it. Okay. Yeah, just have the vampire dust. Okay. Isn't there a Skyrim click max? Or click max? What's that thing called? Click maps? Hello there. Or whatever the Dova word is for hello. Hope you've been having a good day so far. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. Hope you have been having a good day as well. I do not know what the Dova word is for greetings. Is it what Parthenax says? He's like,
All right, hand over your
"Greetings,
valuables,
Drem
or I'll
your
gut
lock."
you like a fish. Then I guess that's your last request, fool.
Thief is dead. Yep, Drem yo lock. Might as well go fight. No, I was gonna fight that dragon, but I can't pick anything up. I don't have enough carry weight. I need to go get the steed stone again. I'm dying over here. Oh, you know what I could do is go do the Ethereum Forge too. I remember like an hour and a half ago when I said I was gonna do the Dawn Guard today. I was thinking recently about how Relina's quest from the College of Winterhold must be terrifying for a Green Pact fearing Bosmer since you're suddenly transformed into an animal. Probably, yeah. Never thought about that before myself either. That quest is so interesting too, because you never see like in Skyrim or like Oblivion or Morrowind, you never see quests where you transform into something else really. They do it all the time in ESO, but it was probably difficult for them to do that kind of stuff with this engine for a long time. Need to have this shield favorited. There is a click maps for Skyrim. Me and some buddies did it. I was actually impressed how close we would get. Nice. I need to try that at some point. I need to take Chillrend off of here. there's a cut skeever polymorph spell in the game still? Really? Did not know about that. I know about that spell because when I was like 14, I got this game on PC for the first time, and that was back I had like the CD-ROM for the game, and I remember I was so fascinated with the console, I went into the cheat room and I gave myself the spell, like where you could just shoot an arrow out of your hand. So cool. Being turned into an animal, if you believe in the Green Pact, could go both ways, honestly, though I imagine it's not as traumatic as if you're a carnivorous animal. Yeah, that's true. By the way, sorry if this sounds super nitpicky, but why do you use the vanilla UI instead of something like Sky UI? Yeah, I'm surprised how many people bring this up. Like, I just play the game vanilla, and I don't mod it, so I don't really see the need. Like, it's not that broken. I don't really think it's that big of a problem to play with the regular UI. But I played on console for a long time, so we didn't have mods for a while, so this is just how I'm used to playing the game.
Will you? He's wrong. No, you must be mistaken.
I didn't realize it until just now that you had a Twitch, but hello to all of you who are watching on Twitch. Hope you're also doing well. I'm actually only streaming on YouTube. I do have a Twitch. I haven't figured out how to stream both ways, though.
Yes, that... Look, what is it you want from me? Oh, and well...
I kind of stopped streaming on Twitch
I'm not
about a month ago.
But I'm not... So either I need to find the set... I'm sorry, but I'm not... I understand. A single gyro would be enough, I think. Thank you. Now, where is it, Isran? Ah, I'll finish up here and head in that direction as soon as I can. See you there.
Some of the comments I'm reading must be out of order then? Maybe.
Until next time.
Unless I'm streaming on Twitch as well and I don't know it. That would be pretty crazy. It's a lot easier to stream on YouTube, though. Because you guys are all here anyway, so then it doesn't take an extra app or anything. People can just hop right in.
You there! Hold fast! I've tracked this damned bear for 2 weeks. Isran? I'm afraid he's a few years too late. Besides, he can handle anything alone. Tell me more about what's going on. Once it's dealt with, then perhaps I'll see what Isran expects of me. We need to stop this creature before it kills again.
Why am I so slow? What? Oh, okay, hold on. Is it Alt? Oh, do I have like auto walk on? How do you turn that off? Toggle always run. Caps. There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Where'd you come One less monster.
Yeah, if you switch to all, then it should be coming through with everyone. Here's an interesting philosophical quandary. Do the green elves ever consider that letting the environment grow too much could be as bad as destroying it at all, like in real life? I think it's super interesting. That's like an interesting question, because even for real life, I think that's very interesting. Even when I'm like mowing the lawn, sometimes I'm thinking about how weird it is that grass can get so out of control. And what it must have been like, you know, before humans kind of like came to populate the earth as much as we do. How overgrown was everything? I guess there were more animals to take care of it back then. Just by like naturally eating, you know. Okay. Do more health. I guess I should put points into heavy armor if I'm gonna be front lines now. Poop elf. Nice.
Don't know how well you've helped me, so he's been working his own little... I'll meet you there.
I just asked because the show Fraggle Rock dealt with a similar question to what I previously answered, and it was a topic in my senior Earth and Space Science class. Interesting. Asked, not answered. I suck at typing. It's all good. Okay. Is it bad I take more interest in a 13-year-old game's politics and lore more than U.S. politics? Well, I mean, your name is Whiterun Guard. I think it's kind of in your best interest to be in touch with the politics of the town that you guard, you know? But in all seriousness, like, real-life politics, I think people who don't give a shit about real-life politics are probably happier than those of us who do. I say as someone who cares about real-life politics. It's more fun to divulge into a fantasy world. I also love this shitty wooden gate that Isran puts up. It's like, who's this gonna keep out, bro? See, I think I'm actively engaged in both. Like, I like to know what's going on politically, and then I like to know what's going on in the games that I play as well. Although recently it's like I've kind of tuned out of the American politics scene.
Here. Now, what do you want?
Hold it right there.
What are you doing?
Making sure you're not vampires. Can't be too careful. So, welcome to Fort Dawnguard. I'm sure you've heard a bit of what we're up against. Powerful vampires, unlike anything we've seen before. And they have an Elder Scroll. If anyone is going to stand in their way, it's going to be us.
This is all well and
I think you have to be incredibly privileged to not care about real-life politics. Maybe.
What do we do now?
Well, for the U.S. politics, both parties are corrupt and absolutely only cater to one aspect of the U.S. and not for everyone. Follow current events, however, and follow the Philippines. Interesting.
Gunmar, there's an area large enough for you to pen up some trolls. Get them armored up and ready for use. In the meantime, we're going to get to the bottom of why a vampire showed up here looking for you. Let's go have a little chat with it, shall we?
You might be sick.
Oh, I want to take this crossbow, but I can't.
It begins again. I fear for what is to come. Isran had a surprising stockpile of weapons and armor. Take a look.
Have you finished the game yet? I have a question about something that relates to what goes on in the Stormcloak ending, but I won't ask if it's a spoiler for you. Oh, dude, I have played this game so much. Feel free to say anything that you want. I probably have like 2 or 3 months of my life devoted to this game. So yeah, speak freely, go for it. I appreciate you not wanting to spoil anything though. So I think if we go back here, we wait like 2 days. I think that's how long it takes for all the stuff to spawn in. There's one down. There's two. If you click and drag the weight slider, it'll zoom through it, FYI. Really? There's an old glitch you could do on console, I remember. You click and drag it? Hold on. Maybe I didn't do it right. If you click and drag the weight slider, it'll zoom through it. I'm trying to click it, it's not moving. I know on console you used to... Oh, immediately as you press yes, then grab it and slide. Okay, I'll try it. It's easier if you press enter, I believe it. Okay. Oh, I think I did it for a second there. Click, then enter, and drag. Hell yeah, that's awesome. There was a thing you could do on console, thanks, then my Duke, where, oh shit, I'm a vampire. Well, that sucks. Yeah, that's rough. I'm gonna load that back. But, you used to be able to open the Xbox 360 menu as you were waiting, and then when you did that, it would, like, speed forward the game. Okay, what's the potion? Just a potion of cure disease is what we need. I don't know if I have any. Doesn't look like I have any. Okay, so what's the Imperial religion as of the 4th era truly behind the scenes? I ask because they openly ban Talos worship, but in the Stormcloak ending a soldier says praise Talos before she dies. Okay, so here's the thing with the Talos ban. I guess I'm just going to be a vampire for a minute. Here's the thing with the Talos ban. Nobody respects it or thinks that it's legitimate. Like, if you think that the Empire thinks that Talos should be banned, you're crazy, okay? Talos is their, like, patron deity of the Empire, essentially. In the 3rd era, he's, like, the whole, you know, he's, like, the most important god to them, maybe, aside from Akatosh. He was their emperor, and there's no world in which they wanted to take that deal with the White Gold Concordat, but they kind of had to. So, as for what the religion is in the Empire, I would imagine it just reset back to the 8, because it was originally Akatosh, Arcade, Julianos, Kinnereth, I'm not going to be able to name all of them, I think. Stendar, Zenithar, Mara, Dibella. Nope, that's all 8. So, it was originally those 8. Without Talos in the picture anymore, I'd imagine that they just reverted back to those 8 as like the official religion. But there's so many Imperials, as far as we know, that are just worshipping Talos in secret or in their homes. You can even see that in a side quest in Markarth, for instance. So, the Stormcloaks... So the Stormcloaks didn't see the full truth about Imperial beliefs. I don't think so. I think that, I mean, Ulfric really riled things up because he was not willing to strike at the Thalmor at the right time, is how I see it. He wanted things to happen now. He felt like the Empire was weak, and that, you know, because of that, the Nords were weak at this point, so that's why he invokes kind of nationalism with that Skyrim is for the Nords thing. Which, I mean, we even just talked to the Jarl of Falkreath, and his steward is a high elf. Like, Skyrim is for the Nords is kind of a very bizarre phrase, because even in this game, it is majority population Nord, but there's plenty of other minorities living within the hold, you know? So, yeah, Ulfric wanted things to happen now because he thought that things were weak, which, to his credit, the Empire is super weak right now. He's not wrong about that, but the Empire is weak because they just spent 5 years, 30 years ago, fighting a war in the name of preserving Talos as their patron deity, and they lost that war. So for Ulfric to say that the Empire sits on its back and does nothing, to me, especially after reading the book on the Great War in-game, is like very disrespectful to everybody who died in that war. And Ulfric is a veteran of that war, but he also got captured really, really early into that war, and he was just held prisoner of war. So I think there might be a lot of like guilt from that as well. I mean, he's radicalized for sure, so he's got decent intentions, I would hope, but I don't know. And this is probably going to spark a bunch of comments about this, but yeah, that's my general look on Ulfric. I feel that it honestly depends on who the Dragonborn sides with. Either party would massively benefit to his aid. However, for the Stormcloaks, they'd have to hope the Redguards would join them. Yeah, and I feel like the Redguards probably would side with them, but the Redguards are also like a province away, so it would be interesting to see how that would work, especially with High Rock right in the middle of the two. If only the Empire were more nuanced. If it were in the game regarding the faction gameplay, I think it would be just as morally questionable as far as whether or not to join. Well, okay, so here's the number one thing that I hear with people too, when they talk about the Imperials, is, and I've had people say this live in chat too, they're like, well, I just didn't like that they tried to cut my head off at the beginning of the game. Like, they'll be like, that dumb bitch at the beginning tried to cut my head off, so I side with the Stormcloaks. Like, dog, they were about to decapitate the leader of the rebellion. I know that it's not quite right that they tried to cut your head off, but it wasn't personal. They just had a lot going on, and there was one guard captain that kind of sucked. So that's your own personal experience with the Empire, and that is rough. I think that maybe that was intentional on Bethesda's part, that they wanted people to side with the Stormcloaks more, so they gave people, especially first-time Skyrim players, a very bad impression of what the Empire is. But I do think that that's colored a lot of... even still, they should have killed Ulfric first, LMAO. Oh, for sure. I don't know why they spend time killing that random guy, and then you. Doesn't make any sense, but as I kind of alluded to in my Ulfric video, it's possible that Elenwen was telling him, you know, not to kill Ulfric, because they're talking at the beginning there. Okay, where was I going to go? I've been staring at the load screen for a while. Oh, I was going to go cure my vampirism. Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. Let's just go to Whiterun. Also, like the Stormcloaks, the Redguards are very territorial, so if the Redguards were to help the Stormcloaks, they'd have to have another treaty where they wouldn't invade them. Yeah, I think that the blacksmith Alvor in Riverwood really puts it very well. Because he's an Imperial sympathizer, I guess. And he basically says that the Nords have been allied with the Empire for, like, as long as time, you know? And it's not like the Nords to turn their backs on a friend in need. Like, it's kind of shitty for them to abandon the Empire during this threat where they need to be united now more than ever. And no one's saying that, like, the Nords can't have a free Skyrim one day. Like, they absolutely can. If they want to secede from the Empire, they have the full right to do that, I think. But why now? Why do they have to do it now when the Thalmor are, like, a huge threat? You know, like, they should be like FDR in World War II, right? Congress didn't want FDR to be sending any supplies over to the Allies in World War II, but he was doing it anyway. He was sending covert ships over and stuff. That's what, like, the Stormcloaks and the Thalmor need to be doing. Or not the Stormcloaks and the Thalmor. The Stormcloaks and the Empire need to be doing. They need to be, like, working covertly behind the scenes to take out the Thalmor. So I think that's the only way that that'll work. But also, there is, and this is not really my point of view, but it's kind of a point of view. Maybe it is time for the elves to reign supreme again. Maybe it's time for them to come back and dominate Tamriel as they did back in the days of old. Like, there's no reason that everyone should be dominated under one empire, right? We don't have to have the empire, in air quotes, come back necessarily, but having one regime rule all of Tamriel maybe isn't a good thing for anybody. You know, it wasn't good for the elves, and now that the elves are trying to do that to the men, we can see it from the men's point of view, and it's not ideal for them either. So maybe if everybody just stopped trying to conquer everyone, we'd have an easier time getting along. Okay, I'm a little bit behind on comments. Shame the Reachman faction was so basic. Totally agree. But the Empire has already caved to the Thalmor, so striving for independence and weakening the Empire as a whole may be good. It may be good, but you know who's going to be attacked next after the Empire falls, if they do. And it's not even like the Empire that we're talking about, it's like Cyrodiil that we're talking about. If the elves get control of Cyrodiil, and again, it's not even just the elves that we're talking about, it's the Thalmor. If the Thalmor gets control of Cyrodiil, they will have a centralized location from which they can attack every single other province on the map. That's not a good thing for anybody. So regardless of how you feel about the Mede Empire, they're probably better to have in Cyrodiil than the Thalmor, right? So which faction would be better as far as having a good ending? Not that Skyrim runs by Fallout 3 gameplay. I think the best ending is probably the one where you just do a peace treaty between the two, you do an armistice, and you don't even touch the Civil War. That's probably the best ending that you can get, but we don't really know how they're going to make it canon in the future. I think an interesting way to do it would be that the Stormcloaks win, but I think that the safe option would be that the Empire wins. Isn't the end goal of the Thalmor to deactivate the pillars, therefore ending the world? That's all out of lore stuff. It's all not canon. There's no mention of that type of stuff in-game. And that is called the Tower Theory, and it's something that I will be touching on eventually in a lore video on the channel, but it's not really considered canon, so yeah. Why would people think that the elves should rule again? I haven't heard, but I want to learn more. Are there videos explaining it? There aren't really videos explaining it. It's just that if you talk about, like, and I've never really heard that viewpoint either, but just kind of for fairness sake, right? And let's talk about this really quick too. As far as the races of like men go in Tamriel, you have Bretons, Nords, Imperials, and Redguards, right? Now I'm going to ask you guys right now, are you, and you can raise your hand in chat, are you a Redguard, an Imperial, a Nord, or a Breton? You can raise your hand if you are one. I would be stunned if there were one of you in the comment section right now. I would call the police, actually, if there were one of you in the comment section right now, because they're not real, right? When we're talking about the races of men in Tamriel, we're not talking about real people. We're talking about a fictional race of beings that we just happen to call the men. But for some reason, people think that the men in Elder Scrolls are like you and I. Like they're talking about the human race versus elves. We're not talking about that. We're talking about fictional characters versus fictional characters. So if you're like ride or die, I'm with the men because I'm a man, that doesn't make any sense because they're all fictional, okay? So if you throw that bias out the window, what you said was, why should the elves get control? I mean, it doesn't really matter who has control, right? The men have been in control for a long time with the Empire of Tamriel, or the Empire of Cyrodiil, my bad. And so maybe it's time for the elves to come back. Originally, the elves were the ones who ruled over Tamriel, so you had the Ayleids centralized in Cyrodiil. You had the Dunmer tribes of Morrowind, or the Chimer at that time. The Hist trees are kind of their own weird thing. They're not really elves, but they were there too. The Ayleid Empire extended into High Rock as well, and there were dwarven constructs in Morrowind and in Skyrim and in Hammerfell. There's some Ayleid structures in Valenwood as well, and then there were, of course, the Elves of Somerset, the High Elves, and they were in the Somerset Isles. So they ruled over Tamriel originally. Then the men come, they take over more parts. It's kind of like a tug of war essentially going on in Tamriel. And by the time that the Third Era happens, the men have essentially taken over everything. There are still dominant races of Dunmer, like Morrowind is still mostly Dunmer, but they're under one banner, right? They're under the imperial banner of men. So the main argument that it's the elves' turn to come back and clap back is that they've kind of been tossed around for a while, and maybe they deserve a chance to get some of their rage out and conquer the conquerors, so to speak. I'm Norwegian, that's close enough. Unfortunately, I'm actually Akaviri, so I can't comment. I'm a female Nord in Skyrim named Freya/Freya. Well, that's incredible. Bretons are 1/4 Mer. No, they're like a muddled amount of Mer. You pick a percentage of Mer that they are, and that's good enough. They're more men than Mer, is how they're portrayed. It's not really the elves that want to rule, only the high elves. High elves look down upon the dark elves and wood elves. I would say they more see the wood elves as their cousins. They definitely do look down on the Dunmer though, and I think that is like mostly because the Dunmer worship Daedra and they are like not okay with that. In the peace talk, you can give Stormcloaks Markarth, and you should be able to use Forsworn to capture it, evading Armistice and securing Reachman Province, and doing Empire wet work like Orsinium. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if they added a little bit more and they fleshed out the Armistice that you can negotiate. But Ulfric does say, and Tullius might say as well, that that Armistice is only going to last as long as the dragon threat is a problem to Skyrim. So, not like the perfect ending. Not the most perfect ending in the world. I'd imagine as a guard in Skyrim I'd be a Nord. That's a safe bet, honestly. I'm interested in what a Dunmer Tamriel would be because I love steampunk. Could be interesting. Realistically, Skyrim would be a nightmare to invade or control. Harsh climates, mountains, rebellious warrior population. You know, the thing is, the northern half of Skyrim's harsh, but the way that it's portrayed in this game, like, Whiterun's just a field, you know? It's kind of a mishmash of all different types of terrain. You got this kind of marshy area in East March. Riften's just like autumn in New England, so it's not really too bad. I'm not racist. I have 0.5% Mer DNA in me. I've met people like that. They're like, I have 1% of this. Another good thing about elves returning is that the Cyrodiilic Empire is inspired by the Roman Empire, and we all know what happened to them. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I mean, personally, I'm of the mindset that nobody should be conquering anybody. Like, if you want to be in a consensual empire, go for it. It seems like the Bretons like the empire that they're in, so that's cool. If the Nords don't want to be in the empire, I'm sure that they can talk that out at some point. But 4th Era 201, with Alduin returning, and with the Thalmor, you know, the rising threat, probably not the right time to be seceding from the Union, as it were. Argonian Empire is what Tamriel needs. The Argonians would run things right. That's for certain. The Argonians have good head on their shoulders. Good heads on their shoulders. Vampire blood boils in the sunlight.
The Legion's always looking for strong, capable warriors. You think you've got
on a lighter note, what is your favorite in-game book from Skyrim? Personally, I love the Beggar Thief Warrior King series. Honestly, after the video that I just did, my favorite book is probably the Book of the Dragonborn. That book is so informational. It's great. I really love doing my lore videos because it gives me so many opportunities to like to actually read a bunch of the lore books in game because they are really interesting. There's some smooth talkers too. Yes, they are. It's that death bell I need. Is trees are the way to go? Yeah, I think the next video is looking like it's going to be a video about the Hist. Now, if you are, I should say, because some people might not have seen it, if you are subscribed to the Master Thief level as a channel member, then there is a poll up for you right now to vote on what the next lore video should be. I don't know how many people are subbed at Master Thief exactly, but I do know that there's only 5 or 6 votes on that thing, so if you haven't done that already, please go do it. I'm going to give that poll about like 3 days until I start getting work done on it. Oh, it's back. Nice. I love Dragon Rend. Such a good shout. Okay, please land for real this time. The only race to kick them, to kick Moai Ball's ass and make the Daedra retreat. Mehrunes Dagon. Yeah. How much of that is actually Ancilial propaganda? Very curious to see. Bro is grounded. Okay, does anyone know where you can get a black soul gem from? I really don't want to be a vampire. This shit sucks. Mehrunes Dagon and Moai Ball Kaiju fight animation. I bet you could pay somebody to make that. You would not want me to make it. It would turn out horrible. Ready, I should head off. Need to do some recording for my own channel. Yeah. I feel that. There's a quest in Morthal that cures vampirism. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Just don't know if there's a black soul gem anywhere. But yeah, okay. Thin White Duke, good seeing you, man. What are you going to be recording for your channel? You going to do the Legends rant?
You need to leave. If you stand before me to... I have done no such thing, no... I keep. Beyond that, I seek only to be left alone. Does anyone...
Oh, you know what? You have to...
Talents are useful here.
You have to go talk to the...
You, my friend, need practice.
All hail the Dragonborn.
Unicorn Empire deck. Oh boy. Sounds like fun. I never really played around with the Unicorn card that much. Wonder how much the Nord commoners know regarding the truth of the Empire.
Welcome to the Moor side. If you need anything, I'll be around. Good to have
That's
a
good
customer.
question. I mean, I'd imagine most people, like most Nords in Skyrim, are still worshipping Talos too. Heard any rumors lately?
Have you seen that shrine of a... They say Falion of Morthal has studied vampires, Draugr, and all manner of undead.
Alright, peace out then, White Duke. Good talking with you, man. But yeah, I'd imagine most of the Nords in Skyrim still just worship Talos in private, so it's probably just like a collective thing that everybody knows about. Oh, got a lockpick into Phalion's house again.
Can't a man have a bit of privacy? Get out of here!
Come on, dude.
That's close enough.
Jesus Christ.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say? Everything here appears to be in order. You can move along.
I need that money. I'm so fucking poor. Only got 2,000 gold. Which is worse, being turned into a werewolf in the companion's quest? Or being cursed with vampirism? Definitely cursed with vampirism. For sure. 100%. Didn't know you were a criminal? Yeah. I think it was just because Phalion found me in his house. Wondered who is the Daedric Prince of Fate. Lore states it's Azura, but for me Nocturnal made more sense. True nature of shadow magic, skeleton key, mortals, stealing her artifacts. Well, the thing with Daedric Prince's spheres is that sometimes they intertwine with one another. And honestly, Fate is one of those that's very intertwining, because Hermaeus Mora has some credit for being the Prince of Fate, but it's really more Azura's thing. The thing with Hermaeus Mora is that he's got so much knowledge that he kind of knows what everyone's fate is anyway, right? Or he knows how things are going to end half the time. He knows all the knowledge. Azura is more like the goddess of prophecy, I would say. Like, she's responsible for the Nerevarine prophecy, right? That type of stuff. Go do Meridia's quest. Each corpse gives a shit ton of gold. That's true. I really need to get a black soul gem right now, though. I'm gonna just Google where to find one, because I have no idea. Black soul gem, Skyrim. Not the fandom page. Come on. UESP. I guess I could get the Black Star. That could be a good one. But we need an actual one. Guaranteed samples can be found at any level in Broken Fang Cave. Oh, Castle Volkahar. There is one in Castle Volkahar, isn't there? Broken Fang Cave. Where is that? Southeast of Rorikstead, northeast of Sleeping Tree. I don't know. I'll put a marker there. I'm down to go check. Sheogorath, best Daedric boy. He's pretty good. He's easy top 5, I think. But I don't like that they do treat him a lot like a joke. And I don't really think that, like, I'm kind of over the Sheogorath being a joke thing. I think they should make him scary in the next game. Like, because madness can be scary. If you guys have ever had a family member with dementia or anything like that, like, that shit is no joke. Sheogorath being the Daedric Prince of that is super, super frightening. It's in Whiterun, east of Rorikstead. It sits southeast of Rorikstead. I'm looking. I do want to get this site discovered up here. Is it just me, or does Sheogorath have the look of Christopher Lee, the voice of Clancy Brown? Does Clancy Brown ever do a Scottish accent? I don't think I've ever heard Clancy Brown do a Scottish accent before. Sheogorath could be two-faced, one half Joker-like evil presence, and the other the champion of Cyrodiil. As if they were a morally good character. You know, I had somebody talking to me the other day about the fact that they didn't like the idea of the Dragonborn from Skyrim becoming a servant of Hermaeus Mora because they would be turning their back on Akatosh. And you know, the player character from any of these games does not have to be a good person. you can do good things for bad reasons. A great example of this is like doing everything out of selfishness. Like you could potentially be a good person, air quotes, for totally selfish reasons. Like I want people to be nice to me, so I'm going to be nice to other people. That's not you being a good person. That's you doing good things because you want good things, right? Like, being a good person would be doing good things because it's a good thing to do. So, you know, someone, like the player character from Skyrim, ending the threat of Alduin, doesn't have to be because they're virtuous or anything. It's just, you know, I don't want the world to end because I love torturing babies. And if the world ends, I can't torture any more babies. So I'm gonna... do you get where I'm going with this? Like, you don't have to be a morally good character to do morally good things. And there's nothing to suggest that the Dovahkiin was a good character. He is a good character. Definitely taking that one out of context, yeah. Mr. Krabs is the closest to a Scottish accent that Clancy Brown has ever done, but besides him, not that I know of. Mr. Krabs being Scottish would be nuts. I was just saying if being morally good is what the devs... Oh no, I get what you were saying. I'm talking about a guy that I was talking to in the comments a few days ago. It's probably what they intended for the main character to be, but you never know, because we don't ever see them again. But everybody's got their own headcanon about what their Dragonborn would do, or has done, or would have done in certain scenarios, so... I understand why Bethesda doesn't want to step on the toes of people, but I think that they should step on the toes of people. I think they shouldn't be so afraid to make lore decisions with their characters. My Dragonborn got OP in the late game and killed all the townspeople. That's the type of lore I'm looking for. But we do see the ramifications of their actions, and clearly Sheogorath seems to have changed for the better because of the person who mantled him. That stuff is also all very tenuous. I mean, it's pretty well accepted by the community that that Sheogorath is the hero of Kvatch, but it's never directly stated in-game. And essentially mantling, as far as I understand it, is just like you fully become that person. So I don't know if like Sheogorath truly has any of the hero of Kvatch in them at this point. It would just mean that the hero of Kvatch fully turns into Sheogorath, you know. Because Bethesda just doesn't like to tell us anything. They're like, oh yeah, just make it up for yourselves, guys. I wonder what nonsense excuse they're going to create for why the LDB isn't around in Test 6. Hey, I mean, I've got my ideas for it, but who knows what they'll do. I really hate the thing they did with the Nerevarine, like, oh, he's just an Akavir. Like, it's such a lazy way to get him out of the picture so we never have to see him again. Would you prefer the original idea for Skyrim with Uriel returning from Akavir? I don't know if I'd prefer it. Like, in a vacuum, both ideas are good. I think it's the execution of Skyrim's plot that's bad. Because, in theory... Oh my god, this guy's gonna kick my ass. In theory, the Skyrim plot is very good. Like, you lay it out, Chosen One doesn't know he's the Chosen One. And there's a threat returning from before the ages of man, of a dragon. Like, the bringer of the end times has come at the top of the, like, tallest peak in Tamriel, the throat of the world. A dragon has come through from the dawn of time that is meant to be the bringer of the end of days, and your character is the only one who can stop them. And your character is a dragonborn and like, you know, special powers and stuff. On paper, the Skyrim plot should be super cool and engaging. It's the execution that's really bad, because it doesn't feel like... I don't know, the plot is just not that good. The main quest is very stupid in this game. It's a lot of, like, meandering around. And the boss fights are really bad. They don't make you feel like you're actually fighting the bringer of the end times. And I honestly don't think it's really shown that well. Skyrim's main plot does a lot of telling and not showing. So Delphine and Esbern will tell you how scary Alduin is, but you don't really see that for yourself. You see him destroy Helgen, but most of the time you're like running around and trying to just avoid his fire. You don't really get to like see him destroy anything. All that intense. Like, it's just Helgen at the end of the day. There was an original idea that's new to me. Yeah, the original idea was going to be that the Emperor Uriel V had returned from Akavir. He was going to be, I forget exactly what he was going to be doing, but he was going to be the villain, which I think is a cool idea. I thought that if the hero mantles Shio, he becomes fused to him, which he does in the Shivering Isles. It's not necessarily that you become fused to them. Like, the thing about mantling is where you become so close to the thing that you are trying to become that there's virtually no distinction between the two. So if there's no distinction between the hero of Kvatch and between Sheogorath, then it's not really like you're it's not really like one of them is influencing the other. They just both became the same person. Godric in Elden Ring also has a pirate accent. I fucking love Godric. He's so cool. There's that black soul gem I've been looking for. I don't think it's filled, unfortunately. Let's see if we can enchant anything before we go. Oh, you can't enchant those with carry weight. That's interesting. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Bethesda hasn't been known to do many good plots after Oblivion, save for Doom and Dishonored. So, in case you don't know, Doom and Dishonored are not written by Bethesda Game Studios. They are a separate company. They're under the name Bethesda Softworks, but that's the publishing company. So they don't actually make the Elder Scrolls series. Dishonored and Doom have nothing to do with the Elder Scrolls series or the people behind it, really. I think the Dragon's idea is better than Uriel returning. I think in a vacuum both are cool. I really like the idea of Uriel coming back and being a bad guy. Because it wouldn't be the Uriel from Oblivion, obviously. Mingino, love your videos, playing Legends right now. Awesome, thank you. Glad for you saying that. I think that plot-wise, Uriel V became Miraak as this mirror to the player. That could be cool. I mean, Uriel V would also be a Dragonborn for you to fight. He'd just be a Septim Dragonborn. What's your favorite character in Skyrim? Default answer is always Neloth when I just need somebody to think of, but we were talking about Isran earlier. He's super cool. I love the Orc Librarian from the College of Winterhold, Urag Groshub. So funny. Such an awesome idea for a character. Trying to think of other factions. Brynjolf's always good. Serana's obviously a good character. Balgruuf, I guess, is cool. Let me look up on the map. Balgruuf's cool. I do think, like, those are, like, my favorite characters. I think the best character, objectively, is Ulfric. I think he's written the best out of all of them. But I don't really like him as a person. And who else? Legate Rika. It's a good mirror to Ulfric, I think. ZeniMax is its own dev studio then? Yes, so ZeniMax Online is its own dev studio. Bethesda Game Studios, id Software. Let me think of all of them. So, Bethesda Game Studios is the one that makes Fallout, Starfield, and Elder Scrolls. You have ZeniMax Online, which is in charge of, obviously, ESO. Then you have id Software. I think Machine Games is under there as well. And then Arcane are the ones who make Dishonored and all that kind of stuff. So those are just like 5 that are under the publishing title of Bethesda Softworks, which is extremely confusing. I think Bethesda Softworks should have its name changed because it's very, very weird for people. And people get it confused all the time. I remember when I was a kid, I was so mad. I refused to play, actually. I refused to play Dishonored because I thought it was stupid that Bethesda wasn't releasing Elder Scrolls 6 and they took time to make Dishonored instead. Little did I know, Dishonored was not made by Bethesda Game Studios, but it's super confusing. I wonder if Uriel V would have tried to restore the Septim Dynasty in this scenario. That could be really cool, actually. I would like that as an idea. Can I cast Soul Trap, by the way? Okay, I can cast Soul Trap. We gotta go kill a guy and fill up our black soul gem. Need to stop yapping so much. Let's see. Yours is definitely Parthenax. Yeah, Parthenax is a good character too. He's very chill. Oh, starting to say what the best character was is a perfect cut into an ad break. Yeah, I don't control when the ad breaks show up, they just show up. I could control them, I could put them in manually, but I just have them set to randomly show up. Honestly though, I might... Oh, Mirak Cultists, these guys are tough. I don't like this one bit. Can I do Vampire Seduction? I guess that wouldn't do much. I could do Call Dragon. You know what, I'll do Call of Valor. I never use this shit. Let's see how useful these guys are. Oh, it's just one? I thought it was all 3. I need to level up right here. There we go, soul capture. Oh, I gotta kill the bunny. Okay, I'm gonna actually run away from these guys. Just gonna run away. Your story reminded me of mine, my stupid boycott of Arcane's Prey in response to the Bethesda cancellations of Prey 2 in 2013. Yeah, and you know what? Arcane's Prey is actually a pretty good game, I think. I beat it for the first time last year or 2 years ago, and I really liked it. I think Arcane's a pretty good studio overall. I know they get a lot of shit from people, but I like a lot of their games. I really liked Deathloop. I'm one of those weirdos that like loves Deathloop. But nobody else really seemed to appreciate that game. Furiel V did try that. I wonder how the Thalmor would react. I don't think they would just stand by as a Dragonborn Emperor reclaims the Ruby Throne. No, I think they'd be pissed. I think the Thalmor would be pissed. I think they really do expect you to do side content between main plot points. They specifically tried to make the main quest feel less urgent, so you didn't ever feel railroaded.
Weary.
Yeah, probably.
Something to help you relax if you're interested. What do you think you're doing?
I'm just gonna kill this guy. We don't do drugs in this household. I think Prey has the best morality system of any FPS game, not counting Fallout. I never really understood Fallout's karma system. I just consistently always did horrible shit in Fallout New Vegas, and I never felt like the karma did anything. People didn't like Deathloop, thought it was well received. I thought that people didn't like Deathloop. That was what I heard. But, I don't know. I hope it was well received. Because I fucking loved that game. What was Prey's morality system? I don't remember exactly what they do. Like, I know there's the doctor that you can save. Don't the people come back at the end of the game if you save them? Or no, that wouldn't make sense for that game. No spoilers though for people who haven't beaten it, but wouldn't quite make sense. Okay. I want to sell some of this stuff off. Do I have any perk points? I don't. I really need this. I can sell any type of item to any kind of merchant. That's what I need in my life. Oh shit. Oh, it's one of the name dragons. Look at that. I should charge my weapon, shouldn't I? Not with the black switch. Oh, I got him. Good. Back, watch some of your new videos. Shit's really good. In what order did you do the quest lines for this character? I'm kind of just doing everything. Like, this character is really just an excuse for me to hang out and talk with you guys. So I did the main quest on this character because I was trying to get footage for that video, for that Dragonborn video. Other than that, everything's been kind of like loosey-goosey. I did a little bit of the Thieves Guild. I was doing like a stealth archer build at first, and then I decided I wanted to do one-handed and shield, so that's what we're up to right now. But yeah, it's been kind of all over the place. Basically, you're an alien in Prey who invaded Earth, which is what those smaller aliens who fight are. You can choose to follow your instincts and do humanity little by little, or lean into the... Yeah. That's right. Persona that the brother gives you. Yeah, YouTube World Limit kind of sucks. Yeah. Pretty sure people complained about Oblivion being too railroady because the Oblivion gates made exploring inconvenient. Never bothered me, but it is what it is. I've seen people complain about the Oblivion gates being repetitive, and like, yes, they totally are. I understand that. Also, though, as someone who's put a lot of hours into Oblivion, if you have your athletics and acrobatics high enough, you can actually just like speed run through those things because they are not well constructed dungeons at all. So if you have a high enough like speed and acrobatics, you can just jump through the whole thing basically. So they're not too bad. I also like the specially crafted ones, like the one in outside of Cheydinhal with Count Indaris' son. Love that Oblivion gate. I think it's super cool.
Wait, I know you. What are you doing that for?
Don't mind the gates if they're repetitive. After all, demons need no moral justification for killing, and I must satisfy my violence. The problem that I have with Oblivion is that, like, the gameplay is just not, it's not as fun as Skyrim's gameplay. Like, going back to play Oblivion is kind of rough for the gameplay. I always encourage people that are new to playing Oblivion to just turn the difficulty scaling all the way down, because I think you'll genuinely have a much more fun time playing that game that way, because for anyone who doesn't know, like, Oblivion gets significantly harder the higher leveled of a character you are. And especially in that game with the repair system, makes it very tedious when you go through a fight, and then all of your armor and weapons are like 50% degraded, and you have to repair them, and it's just kind of obnoxious to be a high-level character in that game. So, yeah, I usually tell people just turn the difficulty down. No one will blame you for it. Free Skyrim Elder Scrolls wasn't that fluid anyway, except for the cinematics. There's like 2 cinematics and maybe 3 or 4 that I can think of. Because there's what? The Oblivion intro cinematic. There's the outro cinematic in Oblivion, so that's 2. There's the Morrowind intro cinematic. Then there's the outro with Azura. That's a cinematic, so that's 4. There's the... But when you beat Blood Moon, I think there's a cinematic there. And I'm gonna just say there's another one in Morrowind after you beat Tribunal, but I can't remember. No, there is. No, it's not really a cinematic. It's just Azura shows up and talks to you outside the temple. Cinematic trailers too. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily count the cinematic trailers among those things, but those are like all the cinematic actual things that I can think of. Skyrim did everything in-game though. Like, all the Skyrim cutscenes, in air quotes, are just like, they're all in-game cutscenes, so they look terrible. Hate to say it. Would have been cool if we had some actual cinematic moments, but it does make the game what it is, you know. Also still looking for Phalion. I don't know where he went off to. Where's that quest? Speak to Phalion. He was in his house the whole goddamn time. Oops. But I have to ask you to stop that shouting. It's making people nervous.
Wait. I know you.
Oh, I do have a level up. More health, please. I need to get Pickpocket to 100, actually, so I can get those skill points out of there.
Morthal is a troubled place. It's my... I know... I have met Daedra and Dwemer. When you have a gem and have filled it, return to me and I will perform the ritual.
Do you like magic?
I will bring life
Valiant
to
says
your
I'm good
dead
at learning.
body.
I like learning
vampire.
about magic.
Have I played Daggerfall, and what's my opinion on it? I have played Daggerfall. Oh, you could buy a black soul gem from him? God damn it, dude. Wow.
Very well. Meet me at the summoning
The
circle
more you
in
know.
the marsh at dawn. We shall banish the...
Yeah, the way he says Dwemer is so weird.
I'm all ears.
Have you seen my mother?
Yeah, so I have played Daggerfall. I played about 2 hours of Daggerfall, and I think that that game is a commitment. Like, if I'm really down horrendous for something to play one day, I might get into Daggerfall, but I feel like that's the type of game that's going to take like a month off of my life just to fully understand it better. Have you thought about branching out to other games like The Witcher or Dragon Age? Yes, I've never played those games in particular, but I really like the Pillars of Eternity series, so I have videos on those games. I actually just have one video on those on my channel, and then I have a Elden Ring video that exploded out of nowhere, and I've made one more Elden Ring video since then, but it didn't get much traction. So Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Pillars, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, that type of stuff. You said dawn, which is 6. I believe. Dawn is 6, right? That's dusk. Dusk is 6. Dawn is 6 a.m. Oops. Highly recommend Daggerfall Unity. Yeah, I've heard that Daggerfall Unity is really good. Most of the times that I've played Daggerfall, because I've started it up a handful of times, I remember the first time that I played it, I couldn't even get out of the first dungeon. But
good, you're here.
Dragon Age Origins is fantastic, similar to Baldur's Gate if you played any of those. Yeah, I actually have Baldur's Gate 1. I've played a shit ton of Baldur's Gate 3. I should do a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough on the channel. I was worried that people wouldn't want to watch it because my PC isn't very good. So we'd have a lot of like kind of weird looking cutscenes, but I feel like now I'm a little bit more confident in my channel. I don't think people would give a shit if we played it with a busted PC.
Which has ended. I call forth that power. Accept the soul that we offer. As the sun
but yeah, I have Baldur's Gate 1. I haven't really played it.
End the darkness of this soul. Return
I liked it, though.
life to the creature you see before you. The ritual is complete.
Okay, thank God. Not a fucking vampire anymore. That is so annoying to have to deal with, honestly. Okay, we can head back to Fort Dawnguard. I'm going to give you guys a quick warning. I will have to go in about 20 minutes. I'm having dinner with a friend of mine. But depending on how long that takes, I might be back, if you guys would be down for a little more of a stream. I know we didn't get a whole lot done in Skyrim today, but you know, like I said, we're kind of just chatting and hanging out and having a good time. I'm pretty sure the first time I played Oblivion, I didn't go to Kvatch until after doing all of the city and faction quests. That's awesome. You really don't have to. I mean, there's nothing going on in Kvatch or around Kvatch, really, that you need to go to. And say from experience that you're in for a good time with both, but for Witcher, don't start at Wild Hunt. His choices carry over from the second game. Yeah, so I've played... I have played The Witcher 3 before, and I have played The Witcher 2 before, I think. But only like a little bit of The Witcher 2, and I've played like maybe 6 to 10 hours of The Witcher 3. Just never really got super into it. I don't know. It wasn't like... I think I wasn't a big fan of...
But I needed to talk to you.
Like,
it's important, so please just listen.
I don't know.
Your friend here loses
I don't know how to
patience.
describe my feelings on The Witcher 3. I just didn't get that into it.
It's about me, and the Elder Scroll that was buried with me. The reason I had... It all comes back... I'm guessing he wasn't always like that, though. It's pointless. That's what... Anyway, my mother and I didn't feel like inviting a war. I did. But something about you makes me think I can trust you. Well, let's move then. I'm nothing if not...
It's crazy they don't give you the opportunity to just kill her right here.
All right, you've heard what it has to say. Now tell me, is there any reason I set my hatred aside? You bet. It can stay for now. But if it so much as lays a finger on anyone here, I'll hold you responsible. Got it? You hear me? Don't feel like a guest, because you're not. You're a resource. You're an asset. In the meantime, don't make me regret my sudden outburst of tolerance and generosity.
This room is kind of fucked up.
Because if you do, your friend here is going to pay for it.
Thank you for your kindness.
He's got 16 skulls on his wall. Lots of moments like this in Skyrim where we should be able to do blank but can't. Yeah.
Whatever.
I know this game really is not a role-playing game.
Anyway, because they're all half a continent away.
It's more of an action game.
Some Imperial scholar arrived in Skyrim.
That was one thing that I loved about Baldur's Gate 3 is how much freedom they give you to just fuck with the game.
That's your moth priest.
I was not a fan, I will say, of like going the evil route in Baldur's Gate 3. They still kind of make you. They still kind of make you at some story points like you can't side with certain people.
You want to find him? Try talking to anyone.
Type thing. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but
innkeepers and carriage drivers in the big cities, maybe. But you're on your own.
Any idea how you're going to find a moth priest? Skyrim's a pretty big place.
Okay. Oh,
Any idea how you're going to find
yeah, we need her to come
back the wizards. Actually, I've been really wanting to get
If you
out
can finish the
and explore.
companions, Aela can also cure your vampirism by making you a werewolf again. I just don't like being a werewolf or a vampire. Not a fan. Oh, I reloaded this area before. That was the whole reason I became a vampire. It was because I was trying to get access to enchanting table and... Oh, we don't have the alchemy lab yet. Or lab yet. That sucks.
If you're putting yourself in
Starfield is also a good role-playing game, better than Skyrim anyway. That's good. Glad that there's something that people can like from that game.
Blood. Cozy. What do you need? Blades, armor, smithing materials?
He's got the heavy helmet, right? Vanguard full helmet. That's probably not as good as Nakreen though, right? Yeah, no way. Yeah, Nakreen's gonna be way better.
This is fine. It's no War Maidens, but I've got a decent supply.
Like Morrowind at least had a different way to handle the main quest if you kill important characters. Yeah. No, Morrowind was definitely the most complex game that Bethesda's made in a while. In terms of like the systems involved, I guess.
Fight bravely, friend.
Okay, I need to get this. Need to get this perk point in speech so I can sell stuff. Where is Soreen? Is that her? Nope. Okay, well it is 7 AM. She's probably not up yet. My non-canon favorite character in Skyrim is Inigo from the mod, or the Inigo follower. My favorite canon character is Serana. She gives both the best companionship and friend zoning in Skyrim. Yeah, I've seen the Inigo mod before. I remember enjoying it.
Be careful.
From what I saw, I was like, oh, he's like a fun guy, you know. Oh, it's 12 p.m. Where's Soreen Gerard? What the hell? I used to have this mod on console. I remember when mods came out on console. I had, I think her name was Sophia.
Well, I suppose I'd rather... I wonder what we're up against here.
She was like a heavily modified
sort of a
follower.
random assortment of things. See anything useful?
Had to have a lot of like the big booby mods, I think, to get her to run. But she was fun. She's a fun follower. Okay. Those. Ultimately, though, I don't really like followers in Skyrim. I prefer to just kind of walk around on my own, but they are useful. Most follower mods just annoy me. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. A little bit the same way. Okay, I can finally get all this shit out of my inventory because we have like a general merchant for once. So we've got all these slow potions. Those are going to be good to sell off. And I can buy more soul gems. We sell more potions. Dawnguard armor shows its metal when fighting vampires. Other than that, it's mostly useless. That minus 25% of vampire damage from spells or attacks is very good, but you don't run into them enough. You know, I mostly just wear armor in Skyrim for the way that it looks at a certain point. Like, once your stats are high enough, you can wear whatever you want. If your health is high enough, you can wear whatever you want. So I don't look too much at the stats, at least in the late game. Which, we're not in the late game right now, I should say, but... Does she have anything else I want to buy?
I'll buy whatever you're looking to get rid of.
What do you think will be the flagship mechanic of Test 6? I'm betting on saleable, moddable ships. They already made bases for it on Starfield, and it would be a good narrative hub if they use it correctly. So I've talked about this before. If they do add sailing into Elder Scrolls 6, I'm going to be heavily skeptical of that, because Bethesda and vehicles do not mix very well. They're not known for having smooth vehicles. Think of all the vehicles you've ever seen in a Bethesda game. Okay, they've done the carriage from Skyrim, which is notoriously buggy. Like, if a bee hits the carriage, it's ruined. They've done horses in Oblivion and Skyrim, which are terrible. Everybody knows they're terrible. They've done... what else? Oh, the one boat that's a cutscene that takes you from Solstheim to the mainland and back and forth. But I don't know if I'd count that as a vehicle necessarily. And then they've done vertibirds in Fallout 4. Like, they're not particularly well known for having smooth vehicle manning. And I heard that a lot of people didn't like the way that ships were done in Starfield. So if they do ships and that's like their big thing, those better be some pretty good ships. Otherwise, they are going to get some big backlash from people. Especially when games like Assassin's Creed Black Flag exist that did the ships so well. Like, you'd have to... that game's going to be compared to Assassin's Creed 4 if they screw it up really badly. Or regardless, it's going to be compared to that game, because that game is, no pun intended, it's like the flagship game for sailing, so... yeah.
Don't get yourself killed.
Do you think BioWare's style companions could work in a test game? What games have BioWare made? You'll have to remind me. Starfield ships were the best vehicles in Bethesda. If you want top-tier vehicles gameplay, play Mass Effect franchise. I got to the point in Starfield where I could, like... because my game was so bugged out that I couldn't barely get out of the tutorial. But I did get to the point in Starfield where I could pilot the ships, and they weren't really particularly fun to me, to be honest. Starfield spacecraft is decent. It's on the level of No Man's Sky for flight characteristics, but I wouldn't put it above any major game centered around spacecraft or sailing. Yeah, and that's like, from what I remember, you kind of just move your mouse around, and then, I don't know, I didn't really ever feel like I was flying a ship, I'll say. Didn't give me that sense of, like, adventure. BioWare's Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and part of K2OR. Oh, SWTOR, KOTOR. Yeah, I've never played those games, actually.
I have.
Never played any one of them.
More.
She's only got 42 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Cozy little place, isn't this? It's no War Maidens, but I've got a decent supply.
I did want his Dawnguard heavy boots and his heavy gauntlets.
Take care of it. This is fine. It's no War Maidens, but I've got a decent supply. Take care of yourself.
Darkstar 1 and Everspace are the pinnacle of spaceship gameplay, and Rebel Galaxy and Star Trek Online. Star Trek Online, I tried to get into so many times. I loved the alien design that you could do. Like, there's a specific option in Star Trek Online where you can design your own alien race, and I loved that feature of that game. I made so many aliens, but yeah, as soon as the gameplay started, I just could never really get into it. Bethesda added cars/rovers to Starfield recently, and it was warmly received by the community. Can't tell if they're well made or people just want anything to speed up exploration on empty planets, though. Yeah, see, I feel like I'm so out of the loop. Like, I need to play Starfield, but I don't want to. I don't want to give them money for that game. Especially with how buggy it was on my PC. What resources do you recommend for test lore? Yeah, just like what Alexis said down there, you use UESP. That's the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages. So if you're ever looking for, like, I'm going to type in the chat really quick. Like, let's say that I'm looking for, like, Riemann. Here. So this is something that I did a lot for the video that I was working on. Riemann Cyrodiil lore. Like, if I type that in, it's probably going to come up with the first result being the fandom site. You don't want to click on fandom. You want to do this. Riemann Cyrodiil UESP. Type that in. It should give you the top result every time for the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages. For some reason, the fandom wiki is the first thing that pops up, even though everybody knows that that's the shitty website to use. So they're going to try to trick you into using that one. You don't use that one. You use the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages. And they have great resources on there. They've got like you can type in Cyrodiilic emperors, and they have an entire chart of every single emperor that ever ruled Cyrodiil, and like how long their reign was, and when they were born, and when they died, if that information is known. And they have links provided to where they got all of their information from. So it makes it super easy to find out where the information is coming from that you're looking at. The only game by Star Trek Online's dev team I couldn't get into was Perfect World. The biggest problem is that the game itself was too big to fit my laptop. You'd get it if you tried playing. Okay. Get Indie Wiki, buddy. It'll automatically block the fandom results and redirect to UESP if you happen to go there anyway. Really? That sounds like an awesome add-on. Okay, I think we can free the Moth Priest. I say like I don't know his name is Dexian Evicus, but we can free Dexian Evicus. And then I will have to go. Similar thing in the Halo community, the fandom wiki is pushed down above Halopedia. Oh, there's a wiki that's maintained by active 343 staff members? That's awesome. I think UESP is all volunteers. I actually really like Halo. I played all the Halo games for the first time like 2 years ago when I was living up in my apartment, and I'd only ever played Reach before that. Like, goddamn. Halo's a good fucking series. I shouldn't say I played all of them. I haven't played ODST. But I played most of them. Is it just me, or would TEST be the perfect franchise for a Hollywood blockbuster or two if made by the right people like Peter Jackson? Yeah, so I've had this idea for a long time of how easy it would be to make an Elder Scrolls show, or make an Elder Scrolls movie or something like that. I think you'd honestly just follow the plotline of Oblivion, because I think Oblivion's plotline translates better to like a movie than even it might as a video game, because it's so cinematic. Like, and the main character would be Martin Septim. Like, you wouldn't really be like the hero of Kvatch is the main character or something, because Martin's really the star of the show in Oblivion. You're just like the guy who gets stuff for him. So if you made the episodes like, because I know there's a lot of fetch quests in Oblivion, like you go get the Tiber Septim armor or whatever, but I think that you could easily turn an episode like that into a really interesting premise. Like, the start of the episode is we go get Tiber Septim's armor, and then like you have some character drama in between while you're, you know, delving through the dungeon. People end up with a shallow understanding of the lore, something I see in test community too, because of cheap lore videos and a crappy wiki that is pushed by search results. I would personally recommend your videos to beginners, Dareloth, simply because you reference things I know people like to ignore. Yeah, so here's my philosophy with Elder Scrolls lore videos. Every single video that someone clicks on could be their first video on Elder Scrolls that they've ever watched, or they could be someone who's only played Skyrim. And Skyrim does a very bad job at showing the bizarre things in the Elder Scrolls. Like, most people, when they think of Skyrim, they think like, oh yeah, it's that Viking game that came out from 2012. So, or 2011. So, when I'm making my videos, I try to take that into account. And yeah, I don't know, I factor that in. So that way people can understand it at kind of any level. Let's see if I can get some damage. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna die here if I don't heal. Oh my god, there's a lot going on here. Are there anything, like, there's no lightning resist potions, are there? It's kind of annoying. I don't have any real magicka potions either. Time to actually utilize my spells. Is that... Yeah, resist. Oh, there are resist shock. Yeah, it's okay. I was thinking lightning for some reason. Let's see. I would personally... Oh, no, I've already read that one. I gotta be able to do some cheese with this guy. Like, I've gotta be able to shout him off the side or something. Did I get him? Sort of, almost. It's been a long 20 minutes. Hey, it was like 9:36 when I said that, so... It's actually been a long 17 minutes. I was first exposed to Elder Scrolls lore thanks to the Exploring series and Fudge Muppet. Really? Like, you didn't even play the games, you were just like on YouTube and you found them? I've got a lot of respect for the Fudge Muppet guys, but also, when I watched their videos when I was like younger, I always wondered like where they were getting their information from, because they would just say stuff, and that's kind of a big thing that's gone into my video making, is that I like to provide evidence for everything that I'm saying, so you know that I'm not just like talking about some crazy out of lore shit that Michael Kirkbride said that may or may not be canon, because I think, like, you know, misinformation is a big plague on society at the moment, so it's important to know where you're getting your information from. That's one thing that always bothered me about their videos. It's funny that in the deep lore of both Elder Scrolls and Star Wars, the beginning of modern civilization is in the slave revolt under brutal, grimdark empires, Alien and Rakata. Well, I honestly, like, the beginning I don't know, the beginning of modern civilization is a very broad term, you know?
That wasn't me. You were fighting.
Okay. Well, before we talk to this guy, I am going to head off. So, yeah, I'm gonna go meet my buddy for dinner, and thankfully the restaurant's like 2 minutes away. So I will be over there. I'll be back. I don't know at what time. I might not be back on to stream again, but I don't know. Leave me a comment on the new lore video if you want to stream later. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. Very much appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys soon. See ya.